Good morning and welcome to the porch. We're glad to have you guys here this morning as we do this broadcast. Now, we've been doing a series on emotions, dealing with sadness first, which was the video we did last week, and this week the video was on anger, and next week it's going to be on laughter and happiness. But what a fitting time to be dealing with the emotion of anger right now. And let me say why I'm saying that, or explain why I'm saying that. I was sitting in my easy chair last night relaxing, and my wife got a text message, and she was shocked, and she shared with me that President Trump had been shot. Now, just hearing that information alone, I don't know if I can describe the anger I felt. I didn't know what the emotion should be, but in my case, it was anger. And I'm going to try to explain to you why that is. After a little reflection, I understand why my emotion was anger. But it was a shocking thing. Of course, we later found out that the assassination attempt failed, and which we're very thankful of that. Now, I don't want you to make a mistake here that I'm coming to you on the behalf of any party, because I'm not. I'm coming to you this morning to speak on something that I'd already planned to speak on anyway, but it is going to have a little bit different message than what my original intentions were. It doesn't matter, as I said, what side of the fence you're on. Murder is not the answer at all, period. So let's make sure we understand that. Now, when we look at the emotion of anger, that can be used in a positive way or a negative way. What we seen yesterday was the negative side of anger. You know, there's no scripture in the Bible that says, "Be ye angry, but sin not." So with that, I would say that being angry is not a problem. It's what you do with that anger that's a problem. Last night I was listening to one of the news commentators, and he made a statement that caught my attention. That statement was that hatred is always followed by violence. I want to take that just a little bit deeper. I'm trying to look at root cause. When you are angry and you allow that to stew and not turn it in a positive direction, it can turn into hatred. And then in agreement with the commentator last night, that hatred will lead to violence if you allow it to go unchecked. So what I want to talk to you today about is I really wanted to talk about the positive side of anger, but because we've seen such an extreme negative side of anger, we're probably going to focus on that just a little bit more than we initially intended to. If I sound a little slow this morning, it's because I'm trying very carefully to think my way through what I'm saying to our viewer audience, because it's important to convey a right and positive message, a message of peace. Now, this is what we all want, and if the anger that we're demonstrating is not leading us to peace, then we need to turn that around. We need to turn around and use it for peace. So I was angry last night, but let me explain. The reason I was angry is because as a people that call ourselves civilized, at least some of us decided that the way to handle our problem is through hatred and physical violence. And that made me angry, not because it was perpetrated against any one person. I got to tell you right now, for my part, is if it would have been the other presidential candidate, I would have been angry as well. The anger came from the fact that we as a people think this is the solution to our problems, because we have had leaders that have stood in places of power and great responsibility and made statements that should not have been made. And again, I don't care what side of the fence you're on. I've seen this on both sides. Stop it. Stop promoting hatred and unchecked anger toward your opponents. Run fair races. If you have difference in opinion on how things need to go, lay out your case honestly, fairly, and with great wisdom, and with the understanding you owe the people around you that. Take that and turn it toward helping the people rather than getting the people to fight and hate each other. Now, my message to the people, not just politicians, but to the people. You're the difference. You need to decide today what you're going to do. Are you going to operate in anger and hatred and destruction? Or are you going to turn this around and do the right thing and begin to look at your fellow man out there, try to understand him? Doesn't mean you have to agree with him, but try to understand him. Most of all, try to live in peace with each other. It's really what we all want when you think about it. And if the anger and the hatred and the violence is what you want, I'm going to just have to tell you, you're mentally ill. You really are. And again, I'm going to say this probably more than once or twice. Don't care what side of the fence you're on. That's where the problem is right now, is we got a divider between us. We've got a fence between us. And we're not tearing that fence down, and we should be. And it's up to you people of the world, not just our nation, but of the world. Tear that divider down. Decide that you're going to care about your fellow citizen, irregardless of whether it's in your own nation or the world. I could say a lot more than what I'm going to say today, but here's what I want to do. I want to call our world and our people to peace. If you are a praying person, today is a time to pray for peace. Today is a time to look at your neighbor and ask yourself, what can I do to help my neighbor? Today is the time to be able to talk to each other in earnest and truth and sort out our problems. Folks, if we don't do this, this world that we're living in is on the brink of destruction. We are teetering on the knife's edge here of the possibility of a world war that we will not come out of well. Now, if you don't understand how important that is, you better start thinking about it, because the life you know that you're so dissatisfied with may become 100 times worse, if not 1,000. I'm calling our leaders to speak peace over the land and its people. I'm calling our leaders to quit being so divisive and promoting this hatred that we're seeing. You, average citizen, working guy, working woman, I'm calling to you. If you're a person of faith, pray. If you're not a person of faith of any sort, it'd be a good time for you to learn how to pray. All right. We here at the Porch love you. I know this is not quite the inspirational message that I wanted to give, but I felt very compelled to give it. My wife asked me last night, or at least mentioned to me, said, you may need to talk on this in your inspirational video. And I said, well, I'm going to wait till it cools down before I talk on it. That was wrong of me. It's time for me to talk on it right now to hopefully say something that will contribute to cooling this situation down. Let's cool this situation down, guys. Let's get this thing behind us. Let's do things fair and right and honest, and start caring and loving each other as we should. All right, we're at Porch again. We love you. We are very thankful for our viewers. We hope this message goes out and is shared with other people, because we believe it can help contribute to bringing peace in this turbulent time. So I'm going to close with this. May God bless, and have a good day.